Welcome back to Pet and Garage. So we're going to start on doing the grinding off the leaf spring hangers, and I will show you kind of a little bit of progress. Maybe I'll do a couple of kind of show you some stages of progress here, but I'll show you all once we get under the truck. Alright, so here's our back axle. We'd also talked about we're kind of planning to cut off the original shock mounts as well. But crawling underneath here, so we've got the original leaf spring hangers here, and we've got rivets, 4 rivets we're going to work on. So the plan is to grind the head of it off, and then we will use an air hammer to push the rivet through the frame. So I will get to grinding 1 or 2 of these and show you what that looks like. So I'm using full leather gloves, that way I don't have any synthetic fibers that might catch a spark from the grinder. And I've got my first one and my first rivet ground off. Took about 2 or 3 minutes, and what I'm looking for is this little shadow line to appear. All the way around. That's going to be the actual center of the rivet itself. And so the next thing will be hammering those through. If you don't have an air hammer, you can use a punch and a hammer. It just takes a little bit more swinging to get there. You got to really hit it with your purse. But we'll break out the air hammer next, and we'll knock this guy out real quick. Alright, so we got the air hammer set up. We have a nice pointed chisel on here, and we're going to sit that right in the middle of the rivet, and we're going to drive it through the frame, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so sorry about the light, but there's the air hammer set up. We're going to just see if we can't drive this dude on through. Of course, can't focus my camera, but I just got to push through there. So that's 1 down, and 7 more to go. Alright, so that really wasn't too bad. I got 2 of them out. Of course, these are a little bit easier to get to with the air hammer. But I got 2 of them out, and it's probably only been about 15 minutes so far. So we should be able to get this thing knocked out pretty quickly here. Alright, so one side's off. Really wasn't terrible. Bracket wasn't quite as heavy as I expected it to be. Kind of expected the bracket was going to weigh a little bit more than it did, but it's still weight savings. So as you might have seen at the end of that video, the last rivet I was having trouble locating it on the air hammer, so I ended up just kind of wiggling and pulling the bracket completely off, and then air hammered what was left of the rivet through. Anyway, so I'm going to keep working on this truck, and yeah, wish me luck. Alright, so I got the passenger side popped off here. I'll let you take a look at that. So I did actually time myself on this side. I started at 8:56 p.m. and it is now 9:12. So just shy of 20 minutes total for all 4 rivets, grinding and air hammering them out. So as you can see, we definitely made quite a bit of debris from the grinding. And we'll get some of this cleaned up. And so I'd like to account for all my little rivet heads. I've got 4 of them found already. And then see, these are just some of the rings of the original rivet outside that didn't get ground off. But I'd like to account for all 8 of these guys, if possible, just so they're not floating around. But I'm going to sweep under the truck and clean up a little bit, and then hopefully we'll find some in that process. And then there may be a couple hanging out up in the frame rail. So we'll just do our best to try to find everything. Alright, well, I found 7 of my rivets, so we'll fire up the old scale here, and we'll see how much weight we just took off the truck. Oh, don't zero on me now. Oh, that's so weird. I guess it's too little to weigh. Okay. Well, I added some ballast and it's still zeroing out. Wow. All right, 45.6 with the hangers, and 39.4 with just the cylinder head by itself. So it's a net difference of 6 and some change. All right, so mathematically that comes out to 6.2 pounds, and you know, free weight savings. Obviously, it's not huge by any means, but I still need to cut off the shock tower, so we'll probably get a couple more pounds out of that. Probably not nearly as much as the sheet metal for the hangers, but overall, for what, an hour worth of work or so total, not bad. So I will continue to update y'all as I go along here, but for now, we will sign off, and I appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one.